What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to have another look at Assassins Creed Odyssey. Only this time we're going to do it at 3440x1440 ultra wide, just to see how it does. It doesn't seem to be utilizing all of the GPU power until you like max the game completely out, and then as you all know, as soon as you max a game like Assassin's Creed out, your FPS usually tank, especially if you're trying to do it at higher resolutions. Anyway though, why don't we go and have a look at some settings. Okay guys, starting off our Odyssey adventure here at ultra wide. Just gonna show the display screen one time. No VSync, no weird resolutions, normal field of view. So let's go look at low settings. Now to have a look at the low settings really fast here. And we've reached the bottom, so now let's go run a quick benchmark. Low benchmark's all finished. We averaged 99. We got a minimum of 52 and a max of 138. So we got way better minimum lows at 4K than anything else. Interesting. Anyway, here's our system info and our game settings, and then our frame times. So now let's go hop into the actual game. Starting off ultra wide gameplay here. On low, I guess we got a dog companion running around next to us. What's up, dog? And then just for fun, since it's ultra wide, let's just go through a little bit more of the city. I didn't even notice that you could go down there the first couple of resolutions, to be honest with you. Could have gone down there too, but let's just keep going through here. I think adding that little bit in there is enough. Man, low res really just gets rid of all of the terrain, doesn't it? Makes the terrain look kind of lame. Pretty much kills all the grass and whatnot. You got like a bush here and there, but this is supposed to be a big lush field of green, and it just looks barren and terrible. But you are getting a lot of FPS, so if that's what your goal is, you can achieve it here. I think we're still getting more FPS now on low than we did at 1080p on the laptop. I could be wrong, but I think we actually are doing that, in fact. Very rainy and stormy. Alright, we'll just run up to the top of this just like we did in the rest of the resolutions. Oh, that was an interesting way to hop up there. Look around real quick. And now, let us move on. Well, here we go with some low gameplay here. Camera recorded, ultra wide. Kind of just running around in the same-ish kind of way I did in all the rest of the resolutions. And even on ultra wide, I feel like low is getting more FPS than we were on the actual laptop itself, which is peculiar and puzzling. Wonder why that would happen. But still, it's not like the FPS is bad yet, but keep in mind we are only on low. But we're getting 90. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be able to do ultra. Even high might drop under 60 here and there, but only time will tell. We will see. Just kind of do the same exact thing I did before. Decided to come down here this time because there's fire and people working on shit. And then you can like push people out of your way like, bitch, the fuck out of the way. And it's also raining a bunch apparently. There we go. Now we can hop down, go through our little nature-y way here. Then we'll run back on up here. And there we go. And now let's move on. Moving on to medium now. Let's just have a very quick look. Oh, And it looks like it's 420, so I'll take a hit as soon as I'm done with this. Which is now. Alright! Medium benchmarks all finished. This time we averaged 91, minimum of 46, and a maximum of 125. And here's our system info right here. And our game settings. And then over here we got all of our frame times. So now, let's jump into the game. Medium gameplay now. So, let's just... Whoa, where'd he come from? He's not supposed to be in here. Anyway, let's run through our little track that I've made for benchmarking now. We have added this little cutaway. There's some people working on some scholaring and some inventing, it looked like. I wonder what language they're speaking. Definitely sounds interesting. If anybody knows, lets me know. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I was going to loot it, but instead I went and blocked. Or whatever the hell that button is. It's because of freaking Ghostwire. Ghostwire, that's how you, like, break open things to get more powers. But which is basically your ammo in that game. Really fun game, too. When I've beaten this game already a long time ago. What I really need to do is I need to go and beat Valhalla, and then I can say I beat every single Assassin's Creed. But I have not beat Valhalla yet. I think because Cyberpunk came out. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Cyberpunk came out, and then I just started playing the shit out of that, then I moved on to something else. Anyway, though, let's look off at the water. And now, let's move on. Well, now we are on medium. And why don't we take a horseback this time? Go, horse, go! People like praying to that half-destroyed ship up there. It must have some spiritual something. I keep on hitting Q because I'm trying to loot. I've been playing too much Ghostwire Tokyo. That's the button you use to like explode random glowy things to get more elemental attack power. But in this game, I guess it blocks or parries or something like that. Now, I'm curious, will that horse reappear up here after I quit the game and whatnot? That's what I'm curious about. I bet it will, but who can be sure? Alright, let us move on. Alright, now we're doing high preset. So let's just cruise down through here. Because the faster we do this, the faster we get into the benchmark, and then faster we actually get a little gameplay in. Might not be the most interesting gameplay, but at least shows you how it does. Alright, let's go run that benchmark. Alright, high benchmark's all done. We averaged 80 this time, minimum of 41, and a maximum of 114. Then we got our system info. And then our game settings. And lastly, our frame times. So now let's go jump into that game. Time for some high gameplay now. So let's do our little run through here. And so far we're staying above 60, even while recording. So that is good. So now we know at least you can go up to high, no problem. I'm hoping you can do everything on ultra wide. Completely max this game out and stay above 60. I doubt it, but that's what I'm hoping for. Aha, I have looted the tree. Now there's no more tree left for anyone else. And now we can run through our goat field with our goat buddies. As we head up to our little lighthouse. Now let's just hop on up here and take a quick look out at the bay. Really hear that water. Anyway though, let's move on. Now for some high camera recorded gameplay, and it appears that the horse is indeed back. So we can use him to get back to town. Because I notice when I walk, ever since I added that small itty bitty little loop, this turns into a frickin' almost 2-minute video. But if I do this, it equalizes out to be about the same length as the other one. And horses are smart enough to not jump off the cliff. A car would have just kept going. But they didn't have cars in this time, let's be honest here. Horse was the best they had. Well, actually, no. And this time I think they still had those, what you call it, those cool-ass carts. What do they call them? Come on, think. Chariots. And other wagons and stuff, so it's not like they were like, oh, all I can do is horseback. They already had quite an advanced little civilization, even though it's pretty uncivilized compared to our current situation, but we are quite a few thousand more years ahead of these guys now, aren't we? Alright, let's just run over to our little thing over here so we can look out over all the water. And there we go. Take a quick look. Huh, it's weird. When you move slow, the clouds almost look like they, like, flicker. Weird. Anyway, let us move on. On to very high now. So we're scrolling down through all the settings, we will. And alright, it is time for benchmark. Well, here's what we accomplished on very high, 72 average, minimum of 40, max of 100. System info right here. Game settings right down here. And then last up, we've got our frame times right here. So now, to see how it does in the actual game, let's get a little bit of some very high gameplay in now. Wonder when that lion is gonna go nuts and kill everyone again. That's happened a couple of times while recording so far. Out of my way, goats. Alright, let's just run on up here and take a look out on the bay. Here we are. And now, let us move on. Starting out very high camera recorded gameplay now. Jump on our horse so we can run our ass back to town. Out of my way, goats. I have no time for you. Ah, crap, I think I killed that one. Oh well, I'm gonna restart again like never ever happened anyway, so who cares? Anyway, now we've made it back to town. let's just quickly run through here our little new thing here. I added this little loop because there's a lot more fire down there and whatnot. Well, not a lot more than up here, obviously. There's more up here, but still. Why not just do the whole circumference of the place? And then we can leave and start running back towards our little lookout over the cove. I will say it's very smooth. Look at that frame time bar. I remember one time while we were recording, we got like a big old frame spike. It was right around here, in fact. But that seems to be a freak instance because I have never seen it happen since then. And I think that was at 1080p. Oh wow, that's closer than any ship has been in any of the other videos. Cool, now we get a real good look at it. Anyway though, let us move on. Next up here, we got ourselves some ultra high, which is maxed out. So let's just go and check out. All the settings are as far over as they can go. Obviously besides adaptive quality. We don't want to do that though. That would mess with our gameplay. Alright though, it's time for the benchmark. Well, we got an average of 62, then a minimum of 35, and a max of 88. And there's our system info. And our game settings. And last up, frame times. So let's get into that game. Alright. Now we got ourselves some ultra high gameplay now. And we did drop to like 58 for a second there. So I was gonna say, let's see if we can stay over 60 the whole time, but no, apparently we can't, but I don't think I'd have noticed without the frame rate counter up. Yeah, and I mean, it might be way lower if you were in a big, giant city, but yeah, so far here, it looks like you can max the game out even while recording and stay over 60 basically the whole time. It might drop to like 56. Who knows? It hasn't yet, but just saying it might drop down to something like that, but I don't think that would bother too many people. And if it did, drop it down to very high and boom, enjoy the game. It looks basically the same. I mean, don't get me wrong, this looks somewhat better, but I can't tell that much of a difference. I'd have to have them side by side, and if you have to side by side something and tell the difference, I feel like there's not that much of a difference, really. Anyway, let's hop up here. Hey, look, a giant-ass boat. That usually isn't this close. Anyway, though, it's time for us to move on. Well, now we got the game completely maxed out. And at least while we were screen recording, I think the lowest I saw it go was 64, but during the benchmark while I was watching it, it did drop down to like 58 at points in time, but I doubt very many people would notice that without a frame rate counter up in their corner all the time. And I don't think too many people play with those like that. I only do it to show you guys how a game is doing. When I play games normally, I don't have it up all the time. Every once in a while, I'll, you know, hit the button that makes it come up just to see, make sure temps are okay, clocks are doing okay. That line's not happy. I wonder if I'll be able to get by it. Oh no! It's mad. Mad lion. Ow! You're a mean lion. Go away. I'm gonna go down here now. Ha! They ran all the way down here. That was probably a good idea. Hey, and at least the lion didn't kill me. But yeah, I don't think we ever dropped under 60. It was hard for me to notice while we were being chased by a lion, but I'd say this did great at ultra wide so far. There's another boat this time. Tinier boat. This one's got a crab on the front of it. And that one's got an owl. Anyway though, why don't we wrap this video on up now? Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for ultra wide, and it did great, even maxed out. Like during the benchmark it dropped below 60 a few times. Hell, the benchmark always says we drop down at like the 30s and 40s, and I never see that in game. So again, if you want to max this game out on ultra wide, you can. I just expected it to still get more FPS. It's not like it didn't do well, I just expected it to still do better. Anyway though, now it's time for me to move on to 4K, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next one, peace out guys.